So today we're going to work on our discussion and conclusion. So once again, we're going to start a new page. We're going to make sure it's on Times New Roman, 12-point font. And we're going to save as. So apparently my computer's a little slow, but let's keep working here. So this discussion and conclusion is a lot broader and you can do a lot of things with it. But the first thing you should do is tell me if your hypothesis was supported or not. So the hypothesis, if then because was or was not supported through my experiment. It is perfectly okay, or if it was not supported, and I want you to understand that, you can totally say that in there. And then you're going to tell me why in the conclusionary statement, why it wasn't. Very shortly, the data indicated that the weights advertised were not correct with the weight amount of grams it took to break my fishing line. Okay, so you're going to continue to write that conclusionary statement, and then you will tell me about other conclusions you can make based on your data. So you're going to tell me about any possible sources of error, any uncontrolled variables. For instance, if you, like the wind or the rain, like we talked about in the previous section, might have been an uncontrolled variable because you can't actually control the water or the rain. What are some things that you would do differently in your experiment based on the real world? And then tell me, recap your results. So tell me about the data from our previous section, from the results section. Tell me about it. Tell me what it showed. And now this is a spot where you can talk about those things that we indicated in the results section, where we talked about the fact that the fishing line was wet, which might have indicated, which might have changed it. So this is where you really discuss the things that happen and then make your conclusions, but you need to make sure that you refer back to the data. So you always want to tell me, like in trial 1, in trial 2, all of the fishing line broke at a lower weight. While doing this trial, it was raining and the line was wet. This may have been why the line broke earlier than in trial 2 or trial 1 and 3. If I were, and you want to talk about what you would do again or do different in the future, if I were to do this experiment again, I would have the fishing line underwater. And go on to explain that that's because that's where fishing line is located, etc. But make sure that your discussion is based on facts and figures that are measurable and concrete, and then address the impact that this has had in the agricultural industry. So you need to tell me, this is a new piece that you want to make sure that you can explain that through my experiment, I am able to educate natural resources or educate consumers about the products they need for fishing. And you could even say, like, the impact this has on the agricultural industry is. Make that really obvious. There are different ways, but once again, I'm going to tell you that you need to really make sure that you look at the rubric for this section and that you look at the Now What document in order to be successful on your discussion and conclusion. And that is located on the website.